What is up, guys, and welcome to another episode of Dave Reviews. And today we're going to be going over Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 228, titled The Decisive Battle in the Uninhabited Demon-Infested Shinjuku Part 6. Now, the last chapter, we just breaking all the rules. It actually don't matter. Between these two, Gojo and Sukuna, they're just rule breakers. The best of the con man. The best of the con artists. Gojo said, oh, you got your domain? You want to expand that thing? Let me expand mine. And then I'm going to consume yours. And then just make it into this tiny orb. Density. Condensed. I don't even know how he's doing it. I guess it don't matter. Because we just breaking the rules, I guess. But no. I don't know how this ends. I don't know how this goes. Like, with the rules no longer on the table and no rules apply to either one of these two, it's up in the air. The rules of Jujutsu sorcery, what are they gonna do now? What are they gonna do now? What are they gonna do now? How much further can you go? How much further beyond can you go? Well, we gonna hop into this. Says Gojo and Sukuna in the black orb. Says a small barrier. Well, in theory, it could serve to strengthen the barrier. You're right. You're right. The smaller barrier, it's stronger. It's not even the size of a basketball. Goodness gracious. I mean, what? Just give me a size. Baseball. Baseball is something. Says, hold on a sec. That's impossible, man. Ushikame is like, yo, man, he's been the most like analytical to me, like, cause they looked at him. They looked at him for the answer, so he's got to have some type of expertise in barriers, because he usually does that sword technique, simple domain, shadow slash, I'm at your throat. Says, just how many times have things been impossible today already? It is my point. It's like, listen, at this point, just watch the show. Just watch the show and take notes. Maki says, why? A barrier's outward appearance and how big it is on the inside almost never match as it is. That's true. That's true. Which leads me to the question, why even expand it as far out as you generally do? Unless, I mean, he just said it. This is impossible. But she's asking why it's impossible if the fact of the matter is, inside the barrier or inside the domain, it doesn't matter. Because it's still going to be whatever the size is going to be. Says, that's why once you're trapped in a domain, unless you somehow find the edge, you don't even have the option to escape. And even if you can reach the edge, a normal domain is resistant to attacks from the inside. But it's fucking flipped. It's flipped. Says still, there are limits, musclehead. Nah, bro. He's limitless. Both of them really are, effectively. It's like, it's limitless. Do whatever you want to do. Says, don't blame me. Blame my dumbass teacher. Says... Gojo is a loose cannon. Says, what's most important with barrier techniques is a concrete image. What do you mean by that? Usually, if you try to envision a barrier too small to even hold yourself and your opponent, the barrier would just collapse. So it's based off the person's image of what they can perceive. You only make the domain as big as you need it to be to fit everybody in there, really. Because anything else doesn't make sense to your mind in that regard. Like, we got to fit in this. I can't do it like that. But if you're like, do whatever I want to do, we'll fit in this. Says the prison realm. Oh, there it is. I was in a box, bitch. I was in the box. I was in here, infinity. This is my domain now. I said it. This is my domain now. I run the prison realm. That's what Gojo was thinking when he was in there. He figured out all types of hacks inside that prison realm. He figured out what he needed to do, what he couldn't do, what he can do. He had enough time. Time don't even matter inside the domains. Time don't matter inside the prison realm. He's inside the prison realm. He was effectively inside of barrier the entire time, or inside a domain expansion that really didn't do anything but keep him trapped the entirety of the time. So he only had was time to figure out all types of stuff. Like, was he immobile in the prison realm? I don't think so. Last I saw when the doors were shut and he was just sitting down smiling while a bunch of skeletal faces was around, and he was like, I'm gonna be the king of this bitch. This is mine now. This is mine now. I reign supreme. If anybody else was in here, these skeletal creatures, you might as well call me a necromancer, because I'm raising the dead, bitch. I'm raising them up. Says, I see. His experience being sealed in the prison realm is now coming into play. Talk about an awful learning opportunity. That might be the best learning opportunity, because you can now think outside the realms of the box. No pun intended. Says, even knowing that, I still don't get how he can change the conditions of his domain every time he uses it. Because it's not for you to get. It's not for you to get. You're not the strongest. You don't have limitless. You don't have the same eyes that Gojo does. Says Kusakabe-san, you've been saying that a lot. But what does it even mean? True. What does it mean? Says, barriers, particularly domain barriers, typically have set interval in external parameters like volume and creation speed. By discovering their own blend of these parameters, every sorcerer is able to establish their own domain. What did you say? Because they seem surprised by this. Let me reread that. Barriers, particularly domain barriers, typically have set internal and external parameters like volume and creation speed. By discovering their own blend of these parameters, every sorcerer is able to establish their own domain barrier. So, I mean, it sounds like it's just depending on who you are, you have a set list of skills. Like, I don't think you can finesse or improve your domain, creation speed, or size after you learn domain expansion. It is what it is. How it comes out, how fast, how big, whatever. That shit is just set. Usually you just can't do nothing. Says, really? Now I'm surprised Hikari is just like, as much as he uses his domain expansions, like, well, shit. I mean, to be fair, he's in there playing games, though. The lawyer, though, he's got my interest because he's a lawyer. In this type of environment where you got Gojo and Sukuna breaking the rules, a lawyer would be the prime example of someone, if he understands the rules and the laws of Jujutsu sorcery, he can figure out how to maneuver through that while still operating within the law, but be kind of shady about it. Says, Higuruma and Hikari, you guys are exceptions. Your domain's open by default as part of your curse techniques. So anytime they use their curse, it sounds like anytime they use their curse techniques, they're partially using their things from their things that would be inside their domain, or things that would be happening inside their domain, as out in the open as part of their curse technique. So like Hikari, like, you know, he's just summoning fucking train doors in his curse technique, and we're like, what the fuck do these train doors do? What the fuck do they mean? But those same train doors are a part of his domain as soon as he unleashes it. So I guess that's what he means. It says, in any case, they aren't usually things that can be changed on the fly with each use. Says, you're incredible, Kinchan. Listen, you've been talking about domains this entire time, and all I've seen you use is simple domains. Do you even know how to use domain expansion? And if so, I want to know what your domain is, because your analytical skills and the fact that people are coming to you for the breakdown of domains and how things work. Why aren't you teaching anybody? I mean, your pupil sucks. If I'm being honest. If I'm being honest, bro, she's been getting hold at every twist and turn. But based off of his prowess and knowledge of Jujutsu sorcery, domains, barriers, and curse techniques, she should be further along than what she is. Oh, I lost my sword. Well, shit. Says, was it too difficult to maintain such a huge barrier that he had to compress it down to that size? No, bro, it's Gojo. It's too difficult. Oh my god, what is happening? I mean, look, based off of this, it means that Sukuna's unleashed his domain because it just looks like this shit's trying to get shredded and Sukuna's trying to break out of there. Or a vicious fight is ensuing. Or it's a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B. Says maybe he just wanted to see if he could cover the effective range of Malevolent Shrine with a large enough barrier. That is also true. I mean, he is doing it. He's been doing a lot of experimentation. Like I'm sure they both want to kill each other, but I don't really particularly know what Gojo's end goal in all of this is because, again, I don't know who wins. I don't know who loses. It doesn't seem like it's going to go down clean cut like that. As long as the ice user is a player or a factor on this field, he will not let Sukuna go and die like that. Says it's holding out. You're damn right it is. It's working. Holy shit. Just a power, knives, cuts just erupting out of that tiny barrier like it's trying, let me out of here, let me out of here, let me out, let me out, let me out. Says what? Sukuna also decreased his domain's range. Oh shit. I mean, that makes sense. It makes sense. It's like, shit, you gonna try and consume my shit? Let me just go ahead and just bring mine down and condense mine. You ain't the only one that can do that shit. What's going on in there? Show me. Show me what's going on in the domain. Says Sukuna also decreased his domain's range so he could increase the output of his curse technique. It's too much. You're doing too much. It's just too much. Says, if this barrier breaks, they'll reach a stalemate, won't they? Fuck if I know. Nobody knows. Even the angel is sweating. It's like, shit, I ain't never seen nothing like this. Usually it's just Jacob's ladder and we're done here. And we're done here. Says, if that happens, Gojo will run out of options. He'll lose. You said that the first time. And the second time. I don't believe it. Listen, when you show me his head getting cut off, if that wasn't it, it's not happening. It's not happening, bruh. The domain, bruh, it looks like it's ready to burst. My goodness, but it's still holding strong. It's holding better than his previous domain. So, can he make it even smaller than that? Like, can he make it the size of a dime or can he make it the size of a speck of sand? Because if he can, that's fucking insane. That's fucking insane. Sukuna out here with his domain still out. Gojo still out here standing strong. No cuts on him. I see these black specks in front of Gojo. Those parts of his domain are just little pieces of his domain just flying everywhere. It's big as fuck in there. I'll say that. It's big as fuck in there. Gojo looking out here like he got the Byakugan or the Sharingan. Like, oh yeah, I'm seeing everything. And he's honed in, bro. How these eyes or pupils are just, it's not even perfect circles. It's just like scribbled in there. Like, oh man, yeah, spiral energy, bitch. It's coming. It's coming. Yuji looking. Says, Sensei. Everybody shocked. Look, no, yeah. What happened? Says Kashimo. Kashimo shocked. I ain't seen nothing like this, bro. In my many years of sorceries and murdering peoples, I've never seen anything like this. Cause yeah, in front of Gojo's eyes, the specks of little barriers just flying off. So the barrier is like slowly, or the domain is slowly being like collapsed, but like it's a much slower pace. But what happens, bro? What just happened? The shrine! The shrine? Nigga, how? What just happened? What happened to the shrine? How, Sway? How did he fuck the shrine up? Did Sukuna run out of cursed energy? This shit's just getting dismantled. The fuck? Sukuna bleeding out the mouth and in the chest, smiling. The fuck just happened? What just happened? Gojo, did your attack hit? What hit him? Goodness gracious, what hit him? Says, oh, whoa. Says, whoa, Gojo-san. Simultaneous. It was simultaneous. What do you mean it was simultaneous? Sukuna destroyed Gojo's domain from the outside, and Gojo damaged Sukuna to the point where he couldn't maintain his domain. So now you're back to square zero. And now you have a counter to Sukuna. So you're going to destroy my domain? You're going to get hit. You're going to get hit with a shot that's going to go ahead and disable your domain. Now we're here again. And now we'll see what happens. We'll throw some hands, rejuvenate, and do it all over again. We could do this all day. Out here like Captain America. Do this all day. This is what we do. This is what I do. Since time. What? How long did Gojo's barrier last? Didn't anybody keep track? You should have been keeping track, Kusakabe. He says, you didn't keep track either, Kusakabe-san. Said, that's a student's job. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. I'm focusing on everything else. Keep track of the time. Keep track of the time. The lawyer probably did. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, because that fucking matters. That fucking matters. Usually it was up and gone. This time it was holding strong. So does that mean, if he makes it, like I said, if he makes it smaller, is it going to be more effective? Gojo, they're both smiling. It was like, oh yeah, I'm figuring it out. Gojo looks like he's having a blast, and so does Sukuna. My goodness. Says 3 minutes and 9 seconds. That's the way. That's the way. That's because she keeps track of the money. Says, if we're talking about after the barrier was miniaturized, precisely 3 minutes. Damn, she's got it down. 3 minutes since it miniaturized. But do you know how long? Do you know how long 3 minutes is in this series? It might as well be a fucking eternity. Holy hell. It says, that's my big sis. Says, now that their domains have collapsed, neither of them can use their curse techniques. So you think. So you think. But I don't think those same rules here apply. Now it's just hands, right? Right? And then eventually it's going to be curse techniques again. And then we're just doing this. Listen, how many times are we going to repeat this damn process, bro? How many times can we go around in this circle of chaos? Says, in that case, Satoru can make the first move since he can restore his burnt out curse technique with reverse curse technique. But can't Sukuna do the same thing? I would assume so. I don't think it's outside his realms of ability to be able to do the same thing. Said, but Sukuna can use reverse curse technique too. Exactly. If you put it like that, then I can use it too. Yes. I would say so. Says, but as I said earlier, I can't use it to heal a burnt out technique. Have you tried? Have you tried? Expand your mind. Expand your thinking. You've got Rika. Come on, Rika. Or does he? I said, come on. Help me expand. Expand your mind along with your domain, which I still want to know what it is that your domain looks like. Oh my goodness. Says, however, Gojo Satoru made the mistake of showing that to Sukuna. I don't think he did. Gojo wants the chaos too. Anything you could do, I could do better. Okay, Sukuna's going to do something or do the same thing that Gojo did. All right. In that, Sukuna might do something else that Gojo will see and then does himself. Because that's effectively what happened. Like, did Sukuna not put a barrier around himself so he could touch Gojo in the same way that bootleg Geto did that when he was fighting Yuki? And then Gojo's like, well, shit. Curse technique reversal. Same thing the Bootleg Ghetto did, right? Right? So it's like they're kind of learning from each other, but at the same time, anybody who's watching this fight is also learning. But I don't know if they can utilize these abilities, but it doesn't mean that it's impossible for them to learn to utilize these abilities if they understand them and train, I would assume. Or they have the potential or the aptitude for it. Yeah, that's not a mistake, bro. You made a mistake in not finishing that motherfucker off. That's what you did. That's what you did, and then you got fucking eaten and splattered, allegedly, and then you came back. Where is Takaba? Where's Takaba? Somebody better answer that damn question. Where is Takaba? All these chapters done gone by. All these people been sitting, watching, and talking. And the one thing I haven't heard is a joke. I'm looking for the comedy man. Where's the stand-up comedian? Where is he? Because I think he's got the aptitude to do a whole lot of shit that should not be fucking possible too. Where is he? He should be like an ace in the hole. Like Ice User shows up, Takaba shows up. Drop kick, bitch. What you gonna do now? What you gonna do now? Sis, why is that a problem? The fuck? What do you mean, why is that a problem? Said with Kenjaku's help, Sukuna was able to split his spirit into 20 cursed objects, the fingers. After seeing it just once, he learned how to turn himself into a cursed object. Yeah, he's a genius too. He's also the strongest. You would expect these things. Now that he's seen it, I'm sure Sukuna can also restore his burnt out curse technique. I mean, I already assumed that would be the case. And like I said, it's just a roundabout circle. It's a roundabout circle of them doing whatever the fuck and just fighting each other. And I don't know how one gets the upper hand. Mahoraga, maybe? These damn shadows and these million buddies? But will that be enough? Because I don't think it fucking matters at this point. So Gojo falls back. Sukuna on the attack. Like he's ready. Jumping in the air. I've got the high ground now, Anakin. Gojo looking up. Where are you going? Are you running? And it's just gravity waves just hitting the ground. What the hell is hitting the ground? Is it Sukuna hitting the ground? Is it Gojo's, I would say, technique, but hell, I don't know. Is he underground? What the fuck just happened here? Sukuna still in the air. Gojo. Nah, bro. What the fuck happened to this ground, bro? I guess Gojo is hitting the ground and rubble's flying up. Sukuna, distracted, looks, rubble in his face. What are you looking at so intently? Gojo now in his face. Hand to hand combat. Here we go again. Sukuna blocks. Gojo backs up, says why? This whole time Sukuna's been stubbornly avoiding using any other curse technique other than the one granted to his domain. That's true. Because he's got other shit. He's got these damn fire arrows and shit. And these damn shadows. But he's not using them. And the question is why. And that's really where the problems lie. That's really where the problems lie. You're not really using your curse techniques outside beyond your domain stuff. That's a problem. Even when the interior strength of the barrier lowered, after I flipped the internal and external conditions, he didn't try to destroy it from the inside. He chose the riskier option because he wants to test himself in what he can do and what you can do. And he wants to learn more. If he sees it one time, he'll make it his. Goku status. While we were canceling each other's sure hit effects from within the domain, Sukuna had no other choice but to use domain amplification in order to beat my limitless curse technique. That's a huge advantage for me. As I saw before, within the domain, he can't use buildings to attack. I mean, yeah. But does that matter? In fact, until my domain was destroyed from the outside, I had the upper hand for 3 minutes. You did? How? The upper hand? Just because your barrier was out? How does that work? I thought it was a stalemate. The upper hand? I don't know if anybody truly had the upper hand, and if they did, it wouldn't be that long to have it. In spite of all that, why didn't Sukuna even try to use the 10 shadow techniques or Maharaga inside the domain? The fact that, Gojo knows, he's expecting it. He's expecting it. And that's probably why he hasn't used it. Much like Fushiguro when he was fighting Reggie. You thought this wolf was done? He's much tougher than that. You thought he was done. You forgot all about him. You thought he destroyed him. I'm out here throwing all types of other shit at you. Thought it was just going to be this gravity and these elephants. Bam! Coming at your jugular. Now you're dead. Now you're dead. Made you forget all about it. Con artists. Con artists of the highest degree. Of the highest caliber. Said Sukuna has the memory of Megumi in my conversation. So he knows I know about Maharaga, doesn't he? Is he scared I'll beat it with a single attack? How, bruh? How? Gosh. Oh, no. What do those eyes see through? Gojo looks like he's getting serious. And he also looks like he has a bloody nose. The fuck is going on here? Is he scared he'll beat it with a single attack? You can beat Maharaga with a single attack? I mean, Sukuna did fuck him up, though. That one time. But this Maharaga is a different breed, bro. This Maharaga's got a little bit of oomph and some energy behind it. But I'm like, bruh, like the fact that, like, Gojo is anticipating the 10 shadow curse techniques, Maharaga, in addition to Sukuna's attacks, and he's still doing the things that he's doing, means that he's still got a few more gears that he can shift into. Fuck, I don't know, bro. Why isn't he doing any of that shit, bro? Like Sukuna just, when he was fighting old girl, I'm just going to use these 10 shadow techniques, try them out. All right, you're not going to get any of my regular ones. Oh, Gojo, you're going to get my regular curse techniques. You're not going to get the 10 shadows techniques. Not quite yet. I'm not using them yet. I'm just trying to see how far you can go, if I can just kill you with my techniques. Like, is it because Sukuna wants to beat Gojo off of his own strength and merit and not off of the strength of someone else? I can see him being like that. Like, without these 10 shadows, I could whoop up on you. I feel like that's where his ego is coming in. Like, without these 10 shadows, I could whoop up on you. I would be able to do that, and I want to prove that to myself. Because you say you're the strongest, nah, fuck that. I'm the strongest. Without the 10 shadows. But, shit, if it comes down to it, I still got him in my back pocket. I still got some aces up my sleeve. Like this damn deer that's going to give me fucking reverse cursed energy and heal my wounds and some shit. And I got this raging bull. Hell, if he can just pull out multiple shadows all at the same time. Oh yeah, here's my 12 shadows, my 10 shadow techniques. Here's all the shadows, bitch. On top of, like... Now, wait a minute now. Because so far he's just been pulling out. Sukuna's just been pulling out his domain. But what if the next domain that he unleashes is the shadow domain? That's a whole different ball game. That's a whole different ball game. But even if he unleashes the shadow domain, will he be able to use his regular curse technique of chopping and slicing inside the shadow domain along with the shadows? Again, I say that, like, he can create a shadow clone. And can he, with that shadow clone, use multiple curse techniques or a different curse techniques? Can he unleash 2 domain expansions if he creates a shadow clone, one of Fushiguro's domain and one of his regular domain being that of Malevolent Shrine? So he unleashes Malevolent Shrine and then releases like the 10 shadow domain and then encompasses like that within Malevolent Shrine, much like Gojo did at the beginning of this chapter. And now you're just stuck in both in this dark ass fucking shrine of hell. Cause then you're like, can he do that? I'd say so, because the rules here don't fucking apply at all. At all. And I just see that being a fucking problem. If I can think of it, or if anybody else can think of it, you might as well put it down on paper and say that these motherfuckers gonna do it. If it seems like an ass pull and they can pull it right out and just say, yep, he's doing this now, yeah, that's happening. That's happening. And it's gonna be like, they can do that now. It just is what it is. It is what it is. Nah, bro. Nah. But that's the end of the chapter, guys. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and check out some of the other content on the channel. Past that, catch you guys on the next one. Peace.